Egypt seeks release of mass pastor abducted by Bedouin. This undated photo released Saturday, July 14, 2012 by the Free Pentecostal Church of God in Boston shows the church's pastor, the Reverend Michel Lewis, abducted with 2 others in Egypt while touring with a church group. Egypt is working with the United States Embassy officials to secure the release of a 61-year-old Boston pastor Reverend Michel Lewis and 2 others who were abducted while on a church trip to the Middle East, the United States officials told NBC News on Sunday. The son of Reverend Lewis told the Associated Press that his father was on a church trip to retrace Jesus' steps through the Holy Land with 23 other members of the clergy and worshippers when he was abducted. Along with him, a 39-year-old Boston woman and a group and a tour guide were kidnapped in broad daylight Friday. The AP said an Egyptian Bedouin, Jeremy Abu-Masuh, was the captor and that he was demanding police release his uncle from prison. It reported Abu-Masuh vowed to take more hostages of different nationalities if his demands were not met. Reverend Gene Lewis said his father was making his annual mission trip to the Holy Land. He's been doing it for the past 4 years now, and this just turned out to be a little different from any other year, said the younger Lewis, who works as a youth pastor at a church founded by his father. He's a diabetic, so we'd like the person that, or the people that have him in captivity, to know that. We're just concerned for his health. But we know that the governments are working very hard negotiating. A spokesman for the United States Embassy told NBC News it was in close touch with the Egyptian authorities as negotiations continue, and that Egypt was working hard to resolve the situation and bringing about a safe release of the hostages. The abduction took place along the road linking Cairo to the 6th century St. Catherine's Monastery, located at the foot of Mount Sinai where the Old Testament says Moses received the stone tablets with the 10 Commandments. The route is a frequent target by Bedouins who abduct tourists to pressure police to meet their demands, which is usually to release a detained relative they say has been unjustly arrested. The United States Secretary of State Hillary Clinton meets with newly elected Egyptian President Mohamed Morsi, a scene that no one would have believed just 18 months ago. NBC's Ayman Mohi Eldin reports. Friday's abduction was the latest in a series of kidnappings in Egypt's Sinai Peninsula over the past year. Abducted tourists are rarely harmed and usually released within days. Lewis' son said the family is concerned about all 3 captives and does not want to discuss communications with the United States government so as not to jeopardize the chances for their release. Any other family or anybody that has loved ones that are in a situation like that can feel a bit uneasy, Lewis said outside the family home in Boston's neighborhood of Mattapan. In spirit, we are confident. We believe in God and we know that our God is active and is real and is gonna intervene on our behalf. The Lewis family gathered at the elder pastor's home Saturday to pray and comfort each other. The elder Lewis is pastor of the Free Pentecostal Church of God. We have a little command center, crisis command center inside, and we are trying our best to do what we can do and be very calm in our action also, Lewis said. We have some good people that are praying for us across the country, across the world. We thank everybody that's working on our behalf. Abu-Masuh, of the Tarbian tribe in Egypt's Sinai Peninsula, told the AP that Egypt's Prime Minister Kamal El-Ganzawi called him personally and asked him to release the Americans, who are guests in our country. He said his uncle called him from prison pleading the same and fearing police might arrest his children or wife to pressure Abu-Masuh. But Abu-Masuh insists that police release his 62-year-old uncle, who he said suffers from back and heart problems and diabetes. He said his uncle was arrested a week ago after refusing to pay a bribe to police who stopped him along the way.